The truth is out there. Where we go over different conspiracies and tinfoil hat stuff. It's gonna be fun. But what were we talking about that got us onto?
Interestingly enough, I do feel like my head is warming up.
Well, it's just like what's that? The space
Yeah, I think
blanket.
the hats are working.
Space-time
Yeah.
continuum.
No, the space.
Jacked in the Matrix.
Guys. What are the space blankets made of? What's the material?
Space age materials.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's like right on the tip of my tongue too.
Oh yeah.
It's like
The
It's
solar
almost like
blanket, but I
foil.
can't think of what the hell it's called.
it's kind of a foil
Yeah.
with like a plastic liner,
But what did it? I mean, like I.
thermal sheet.
No, yeah, but it's a specific.
What is a space blanket made of?
Oh god.
Space blanket is made up of aluminum and bop it.
Bop it.
Bop it, pull it,
Yeah, I know.
twist it.
No, it's a different type. Anyways,
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it is though.
like when I came back from SEER and I had all this stuff. Like I had they gave us space blankets and stuff. I'm like they say it's best when you're naked. So after a shower, I got one out. I wrapped up in it, and like within a
Minutes,
minute,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh God, this is so hot! I got to take it off." I was about to die. It's crazy.
I had a similar experience when we were doing the Nunker, and I got in a trash bag in the water, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's so hot in here! I gotta get out." But then you open it up, like, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
It's cold water.
So what conspiracy theory were
We were getting
we mulling over when
I don't know, but
we had to
I can tell you my favorites.
break
Okay.
out that?
9/11, Sandy Hook.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
let's not get into 9/11 or Sandy Hook right now. We can talk about.
I wasn't
Oh,
talking
hey,
about Flat Earth.
here's one.
Flat Earth. I love
Let-
flat.
Let's do flat Earth, but first, I was on Instagram and I was
Did you Instagram that hoe?
no. Here, I'll read it for everybody. There's a post that says, when people want to bring up the ATF and FBI, referring to Waco, Texas, but don't want to talk about Delta Force shooting Branch Davidians. So I'm like, And then he has a picture of ATF guy standing in the burnt rubble, FBI guy standing in front of the same burnt rubble, and then this, which is labeled Delta. Now you guys can't see the picture. I don't know if I'll be able to put it on the screen there, but he's wearing a Kevlar. That's one big thing that doesn't stand out. I mean, they do their cool guy. Everyone does their cool guy pictures, whatever. But I don't know. I've never seen.
I don't know. I read.
I've never seen even old school guys, especially. Well, I've never seen a picture like that, which gave me pause. I'm like, okay, so apparently, whatever. Anyways, I commented, and I said, I was with the 160 for a while. I've met CAG and Delta guys, lived with them for a little bit. Each squadron has their own little attitude or
their own flavor,
their culture, and they do things differently, whatever. But I can't see them doing that, just shooting. I don't know.
I mean, you want to talk about like the Obama's hit squad type shit, like how far-fetched is something like that where you do have a group of people that are highly trained and specialized?
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't see
the people
least
that are attracted to that world.
No, I don't see the guys that, at least the guys that I knew, the guys that I've talked to quite a bit. I don't see them doing it. And with the soft community, the higher you go or the lower tier number you get, the more. Let's see, it goes both ways too. The more patriotic or sense of duty you tend to see. So it's
but at
like,
the same time, I learned this from my ethics class in college now, is like you can frame the patriotism in such a way that like, oh well, I have to do this for the greater good.
Yeah.
Right? You can totally spin somebody up in that direction.
But see, like for me, I think one of the best public showings, or the last true patriot that came out that was like, oh, okay, this guy's really out, was Snowden. And I know a lot of people don't like what he did. I mean, I understand coming from the security clearance community,
Yeah,
you know,
the
like,
NDA world, yeah.
what'd you do, dude? Why'd you do this? You know, but overall, what he exposed goes completely against what this country should be
Right.
about. So that's why I consider him a true patriot. He sacrificed his own life. He's not dead, but
I mean, he basically is.
yeah,
He's living in Russia, which I mean isn't the worst place in the world, but
it's not the greatest either.
no.
Unless you're,
See, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody's
he's-
such
if
a
he-
patriot that's willing to give up everything. Like,
except for Adidas tracksuits.
you gotta be careful.
He's got to wear those over there.
Yeah.
Got to fit in. Got to take pictures of you squatting down with your AK.
You gotta get a tracksuit on for sure.
Yeah.
Tracksuit with a
Suit.
gold AK.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know
See,
how
like,
I feel about that whole.
You know, the American army has had mercenaries with us since our revolution.
oh yeah.
right? And I know that local police force, especially like that oil stuff up in the Dakotas, where that one actress got.
They had provocateurs that would go in there and try to
Yeah, they
stir
had-
up junk.
They had PMCs there
Yeah,
alongside the law enforcement, and the PMCs were able to do stuff
that the law enforcement
that the law
could.
enforcement could not do.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say.
And those dudes did look like Delta.
It's a lot of people that get out that, hey, I want to do Blackwater type shit.
But see,
I
the
want to
thing-
be that guy.
but
Yeah.
see, back during Waco and Ruby Ridge, like the PMCs weren't really like that big a
wasn't-
thing. Like they became into like the
or it
public
was, but they
public
didn't
awareness.
publicly get to know.
Yeah,
Iraq is
Iraq
when
it blew up big. Yeah,
they, because of Blackwater's
Yep.
crap, the stuff that would
war
happen.
crimes.
Yeah.
Well, see,
The war crimes that everybody else did, but
They-
nobody talked
No,
about.
exactly, yeah.
yeah, but
They're the ones that got pegged for it.
Yeah.
they did. I mean, the big one that the shootout or whatever that happened, where they got caught in a
Caught in a bad
caught
situation.
in an intersection,
Yeah.
got rammed by a couple
Bad
cars.
situation.
Yeah, bad situation. Nothing was going to come. Nothing good was going to come of that.
And, you know, this is what I've often thought about too, like with dealing with my own, I guess, inner demons. When you're at war, what really crimes are there? You know,
Well,
you're
see-
kind of throwing everything out the window, and like, because all
Yeah,
that matters is
that's
that
true.
you and your buddies come home.
Yes,
Right.
but I Like-
Should there be ethics in war?
when I was flying, the times that I would fly, right, I would only want to shoot
Intended
If-
targets, yeah.
if I was being threatened
Sure.
or my flight,
Mhm.
right? I wouldn't just do the whole Full Metal Jackets.
Just shoot.
Yeah,
How do you shoot them? You just don't lead them as much, you know.
Get some! Yeah.
there are guys like that.
That was the only call
Damn.
we had in Vietnam. If you were a crew chief on a helicopter, that was the only thing they had was get some. That was the only call. No
But-
other communication with the pilot other than get some.
But yeah, I don't. I've heard many stories. Luckily, I was not with them when it happened. Like if I was ever a right seat and my left seat was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing,
I would hand his ass up.
yeah, just you don't need
So
to.
if you don't know, typically the right seater is the senior crew chief in the helicopter.
Okay.
So you're responsible for your left seater. Or sometimes
Is that where the team term left seat, right seat ride came from? Or is that? I mean, I
It
know
could
what
be.
I know what that means, but I didn't know if that was like maybe where it originated.
I do know in aviation, that's what the crew chiefs on the right seat is typically your senior guy because he can look back at the tail rudder.
He's the other guy on the left.
Yeah, and the other guy's on the left.
Yeah.
And in the big army, he's just a door gunner, so he's
Technically, you only need
anybody
one crew
that
chief.
just they throw in there to shoot from the air.
Right.
Yeah, we all of our cooks.
Yeah.
We
Sometimes infantry would take
We
door
got-
gunner rotations for.
we got all our cooks up on door gunner qualified, like OR qualified, so they could door gun before they deployed to Iraq. But after I helped train them up, I went to I came to 160th, so I didn't deploy with my old unit.
Yeah. And I'm so glad I was in regiment because having another crew chief, because he knew the helicopter mechanically and he had the same level of responsibility as me,
Yeah,
and the training was phenomenal in the unit, and I knew if something
So it
happened
was a
to
little
me
more.
or vice versa,
Each of
like,
you on
it
the
was
same
fine.
level. It wasn't like, oh, you're the peon, so I'm gonna make you do everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
that there
Well,
still
no,
was
there's
that.
still that
there were still
there.
those games, but
with
like
the senior guy, and
when
then
I
you
was
guys
the
are-
junior guy, I was technically capable of doing everything the FMQ could do.
Mhm.
I just didn't have that status. So like I could run hoist, I could do fuel, I could do customer support stuff, and then if like God forbid he takes a round, the helicopter and mission would still go on, and I would just be performing all the duties in the back.
Right.
Yeah. But
I'm messing my hat up. Sorry.
that's okay. But now that we're past the
Yeah,
that stuff, you want to talk about the whole flat Earth?
flat Earth. Yeah, we can talk about flat Earth.
Yeah, flat Earth. See, you know, flat Earth is funny until you have a relative who buys
Believes
into
it.
it, and it really bothers me. Like I almost took it personal that he was buying into flat Earth.
Yeah.
It pissed me off so much.
See, I thought initially some of the people I've met that are flat earthers, I thought they were joking.
I don't know if I've ever actually met a flat earther,
Um,
but now I find like there's people that I've met that somebody specific that you and I went to college with, is a female that was very on the left train, thought that Hillary was like walked on
Yeah.
fucking water.
I know who you're talking about.
first off, Jesus was a man.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it was
and he had a
a
beard.
female.
Yeah.
More attractive than the typical art student, female art student
Mm.
that claims to be.
That's
female.
interesting because from
But,
my
yeah.
observations, typically,
Art students don't bathe that often, and they wear
Yeah.
tie dye and listen to reggae and
nothing wrong with reggae because I do enjoy
Right.
reggae, but like
but only listen to like the typical like tree hugger hippie type
Yeah.
art
I really-
school.
I
Yeah,
really-
no,
I
that
think
was not really like
take a shower.
I really didn't get that from Nelsie.
no,
Like
Nosy wasn't like that at all.
there was some. Apparently, there was quite a few students that were nice to my face, but not so nice. When I was
behind your
away.
back.
Oh yeah, see,
Yeah.
I'm like the kind of person that
Yeah,
like
you know exactly
YouTube
where
or no
you stand.
YouTube,
Yeah.
I'll drop your name in a heartbeat. Be like, yep, this was you.
Well,
But at the
Oh.
same time, for the sake of this is your circus, I'm just here to
No, yeah.
spectate.
I just I don't know. Like I didn't see a lot of that, and I actually got a lot of. I think I earned a lot of respect from some of the students there because they were seeing a perspective that they weren't being shown at all.
Yeah.
And like the teacher or whatever would bring up something, and I'd be like, well, what about this? I think it was the earth science class that I went through. Of course, they want all this environmental stuff and
Right.
everything, and she started talking about climate change. Of course, that was like the last paper, and the last paper, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to bring out everything, and I brought in the Younger Dryas period and the Younger Dryas impact theory, which is kind of being
Discussed now.
because of the big impact crater they found in Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
It actually dates back to that exact Younger Dryas period, and when they say when you see the graph and you see how the temperature has risen and fallen and now it's rising or whatever it's doing, climate change, because it's not, first it was cooling, then it's
Right.
global warming, now it's climate change, to just it's changing, it's getting more extreme because of we're doing stuff. But is it? Look at the Greenland
Yeah.
ice core samples, zoom out like 100,000 years, don't just this little bitty clip
Right.
zoom in and say, look at, we're going up.
Yeah.
Well, where were we here? Oh, there are people alive, Ben. That's when Stonehenge was built. So you say. It could be earlier, The Earth goes through changes. There's
It may have been flat, and now it's round. May have been round, and maybe flat now.
What was
But what I was
frustrating
getting
me
at,
with
what
the
you were
flat
talking about,
earthers?
yeah, with that's what I was saying is like,
if you take a drop of water and you drop it, it turns into a sphere,
yeah.
and that's all we are is a drop of water in space. So
yeah,
how could you? And
They
everything
don't-
we observe, and like, I don't think any flat earthers
What-
deny like the sun is a sphere, the moon is a sphere, all the other planets we look at are spheres. So why would we think
No,
that
dude.
ours isn't?
If you talk about the stars and stuff, they go, "Oh, have you ever seen a star? Like that picture? That's that's a graphical representation.
Right. It's not
Representation.
this
It's not.
way. You're
That's
looking at it like this, or it's a flat.
Well, no, they're like, that's someone's drawing. We don't have pictures of stars that are that clear. Like, oh, you son of,
I just want to smack him.
you know. So there's like, here's a real picture of a star zoomed in, and you see like all these pixels. Like that's it. And like, come on, dude, come on. Think
See-
past that.
What boggles my mind is even ancient humans knew that the Earth was round.
The Greeks did it. Who I forget his. I
It
forget
goes even
his-
back further than that.
Oh, I know, but I mean, what the Greeks
But
did.
the Greeks proved it
Yeah, they're like,
mathematically.
okay, let's stick a stick in the ground here on
And
the,
watch
on
the
the
shadow.
summer solstice or whatever,
Right.
and then stick one here on the same day, and then you just tell me at what degrees it was, and through geometry and a little
Right.
trick, they got the circumference of the Earth.
Smart.
Weird.
Yeah.
Simple
But
math.
like you were saying, like how you get like almost offended by it, like people that are close to you. That's how I am towards like I've lost so many friends over stupid stuff. Like not so much stupid stuff, but like how people think like, oh, the Earth is flat, but then like somebody who actually believes that is like people joke about, oh, I've lost so many friends over this election, or I've lost so many friends over, you know, pro-gun versus anti-gun, or, you know, left versus right-wing, or whatever. Like, I have, like, that was the hardest thing going through school, was like that, is that most people who went to school with are like, they're like one, you know, vegan meal away from being an Antifa member. So it's like,
Oh, man.
yeah,
Well,
so I mean,
they're conditioning the students in the education
Yeah.
system.
but with
but being veterans and going through that, and like we're on our separate mindset, it's like throwing a steak into a, you know, a herd of
Ew,
wolves.
it's meat.
Yeah, well, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, you're the one that's the oddball out. Let's all attack you.
I
So
think
it's like you
it's-
really have to fight your way out.
It's
and
important
like,
now for a lot of veterans, even if you already have a degree, just go to college to help benefit this next generation.
yeah,
To
'cause
give
I
them perspective.
don't know how many times more times than I can count, where I'd be sitting towards the back of the class or whatever, and someone would be said or whatever, and I'd be like, well, what about this or what about that? And as soon as I said it, all the kids were like, I turn around and go, are you asking questions? Are you trying to counter what the
greatness is on the screen. Yeah.
I'm like, no, seriously, yeah. Like,
I had a pop culture class that was like that.
Pop
I don't know
culture?
if you ever had any classes
No.
with Donna.
oh, Donna?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
She kicked me out of class once.
Yeah. I got pretty close.
But
We had to do it was a pick your own topic for pop culture class, and everybody was picking random stuff, like explaining Bitcoin back before Bitcoin was a thing.
Yeah.
And
It's still not a thing.
right, well, it isn't anymore.
Thank God.
it won't be, because the
Right.
big banks will just
They've
It
already
does,
started
yeah,
shutting down.
yeah. But I did a thing on campus carry. Talk about ruffling some feathers. That was,
Really?
yeah.
What's funny is, like,
That was back like when campus carry, like that started to become a thing because of the Virginia Tech shooting. and-
before-
but it was even a thing before
I did a
that.
paper on campus carry too.
but before the campus carry became, law that you can carry, keep it in
Right.
the car or whatever, I always brought my stuff. When we go on
My gun always stayed in the car.
the field trips, I was always carrying.
Oh,
And
yeah, absolutely.
my whole class knew. I was like, that I'm carrying, you're good.
Dude, do you know how many times I brought my gun in school? Like
Yeah.
it was just one of those. I didn't feel like leaving it in the car because it was hot, and I was like, I'm not going to put that inside my
Plus,
pants and burn the shit out of my hip.
I'm always
or
reminded
something.
of that one story where the woman was at a diner with her family and had to sign no carry or whatever. I forget what
Oh,
state it
yeah.
was.
She left
Yeah,
it
it
in
was
the
in
car.
Texas.
In the
It was-
car,
yeah,
yeah.
it's an older one. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that story resonates with me because to me, my rifle and my pistol, whichever I'm carrying, like that's a whoopee to me.
Right.
It's my security
blanket. Yeah.
So as long as I have it, it's fine because I don't ever want to be put in a situation where she's watching her loved ones die,
Right.
knowing that she just needs to get to her car. And that's too far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's only like 20
Yep.
feet away, but it's still too far.
Yeah. No,
One
I
shot can
carry,
do it.
Yeah.
And like
And
it
that's-
annoys me that you see all these signs posted on like movie theaters like no guns, and they finally got the right ones that have the state statue. So
Yeah.
now
I
they're
know the one
they're
down
legal.
here on Tiny Town
Yeah,
does.
but-
Yeah.
If a criminal doesn't follow the laws, why should I?
Yeah.
Now
See,
I'm
now when
becoming
I
a
went to the
criminal.
carry
now.
class, they, I don't know if maybe this was like an unspoken, true phrase or not phrase, but like a unknown fact type of thing, if you carry into a place like the movie theater that has the correct
Yeah.
postings and things like that, and something does happen, and you kill the bad guy,
You still
then
get charged.
no, you don't get charged because it's you saved everybody from something that could have been a lot worse, even though you broke the law initially.
There was a case like that. That
That was what I
actually
learned when I
happened.
took my carry class, and that was in like 2013 or 14. So
See, unfortunately,
now,
being-
see, I may have changed since then,
Yeah.
but
I didn't
then
go
it
through a
was-
carry class because the state of Florida, great state.
If you're military.
If you're military, it's
Right, Tennessee's
auto
like
get,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee's like that too.
But I went through the actual course.
Right.
I was out of the army. I couldn't get I didn't have a commander to do it. Right.
All you
Anyways,
just needed someone to do 214.
yeah, I know. I know. But I was like, fuck it.
I
So
mean, I might
I-
still
I
go
wanted-
just for the education.
I wanted to go for that and for my wife to go through it and everything. And I mean, there's the one thing that's not talked to. This isn't. You want to take the tinfoil hats off?
Are we still done with conspiracies, or are we gonna come back to the flat Earth?
We could leave them on the table and still talk about it because I feel like mine's hanging off my head. It probably isn't.
No,
but-
it's still there.
Is it?
Are you just
Yeah,
you
let's-
can hear your own thoughts?
Yeah, let's take them off.
This is the conclusion to the tinfoil hat.
Oh, it's almost like a little Viking hat.
Mine
Yeah.
looks like I look like the Teletubby with the,
Yeah.
the dick on its head.
Little Dicky,
Yeah, little
But,
dicky.
not the rapper, the Teletubby.
Yeah.